Hi everyone, my name is Gaurav Sharma and today I'm going to demo a solution which I have built to integrate QuickSuite and Sagemaker Unified Studio using a unified semantic MCP server, which is a combination of Redshift and DataZone MCP servers. This demo showcases a governed semantic layer that enriches AI generated analytics with business context from two sources. One is structured context, that is our business glossary terms from Sagemaker catalog, which used to be called DataZone, providing precise definitions of business metrics. Unstructured context, that is your tribal knowledge, which is stuck in different documents and different repositories, which I have uploaded to QuickSuite spaces. This will provide us organizational policies, interpretation guidelines, and institutional knowledge that isn't captured in any glossary terms. Now, the context behind creating this solution or this demo is what I have heard from various customers, organizations who are adopting AI automation for their business have observed that LLMs generate syntactically correct but semantically wrong SQL or answers because they lack business context. This demo would show us how we can close that gap. Now, on the architecture diagram you are seeing on the screen, let me walk you through on how this solution works. Our business user, who could be like a financial analyst for this demo, authenticates through IAM Identity Center and logs into Amazon QuickSuite. Now here, an administrator has already created spaces. The business user logs in as IAM Identity Center authentication, and here the user uses the chat assistant created for them. In the chat assistant, and all this chat assistant can be embedded into their own company website or internal application as well. Now the user uses natural language to ask some questions on its data, financial data, and QuickSuite Spaces eventually understands the context and checks what kind of documents or data will be required, and eventually pushes the query through the API gateway to MCP servers for Redshift and DataZone. In this MCP server, the question is understood, and from the Sagemaker catalog, all the business glossary terms are pulled by the MCP server and sent to Amazon Bedrock along with the descriptions of these terms and the user's question. Now, Amazon Bedrock model, it will understand the context and create a semantically accurate SQL query for MCP servers to run against the data sources such as S3-based data lake or Amazon Redshift. After it has got the results, the MCP server will send it back to the business user, and the user will see a beautiful descriptive answer along with some visuals if possible. So that is the flow. Let me quickly show you how it works in real life. So I'm on QuickSuite. I have logged into Spaces, but let me show you from the beginning. So these are spaces, and when you create a space, basically I have created one space. So let me quickly show you here. You can add knowledge. Knowledge can be of different forms like files, dashboards, knowledge bases, actions. So actions is where we have integrated the MCP server for the DataZone and Redshift, and file uploads is where we have uploaded the unstructured documents, the tribal knowledge, right? So these are the three documents we uploaded related to organization, and in the actions we have integrated the MCP server. So that's the flow, and now let me quickly show you how it looks like. So, and because I have logged in as a Franklin County data analyst, and I am trying to do some analytics on my data, and this is my chat assistant. Now I have a question related to net revenue for last year. Now in any organization, net revenue could mean different thing. In this particular county, net revenue means everything, all the revenue excluding your intergovernmental revenue, for example state highway funds or federal grants. those should not be calculated as net revenue. Now, without the business context, the LLM would have created a query which would have aggregated all the different possible revenue numbers available in the database, and it would have given the answer, which would be syntactically correct but semantically wrong. So what we did is defined what net revenue is in our business glossary terms. So before I push the query, let me show you where I define net revenue. So I'm going to Amazon Sagemaker, and let me go to the admin project. That's where I have defined all the business glossary terms. I go to manage metadata entities, business glossaries, and these are the terms which I have defined, and then eventually attach these terms to the respective Redshift tables. So net revenue definition is calculated as gross revenue collected from all sources, property tax, sales tax, income tax, etc., minus any refunds issued, and intergovernmental transfers are tracked separately and excluded from net revenue calculations. So this is how the context is picked up by the MCP server and sent to the Bedrock to get the right SQL query. Now let's go back to the quick console, and we'll run the query. What is the net revenue for last year? Let's see. It's reading some documents. Now it wants to pull some data from our Sagemaker Unified Studio project. So I'll give the correct project ID here because I'm part of multiple projects, which is generally not the case. Okay, it's taking some time. All right, we got the results, total net revenue for the fiscal year, and let's see the sources. The sources is our MCP server, right? So it got from our Unified Studio project assets. Now let me ask some more questions, which will include both unstructured and structured. So let's see. Let me quickly pull a question here. Now let me ask about, are we meeting SLAs or SLA targets? SLA targets, because it has to understand what SLA targets are, and then it will try to calculate the targets, the SLAs for critical service requests. Okay. Okay, so it says out of 5 critical priority service requests that have been resolved, only 3 met the 24-hour SLA target, which means it read our documents and understood what the targets are, and then calculated these numbers and gave us the results, which is 60% compliance. So that's all about the demo. We can play around with more questions, but that's the beauty of Quick Suite space and the MCP servers and the business context, which is enriched in Sagemaker Unified Studio. It also helps govern at a user level. So every user is part of a project, and they are only able to access the data which is available in their project. So it creates a fine-grained governance layer, and because they have logged in as IAM Identity Center, this particular identity is always maintained throughout this entire pipeline. Well, thank you so much, and please reach out to me and we can discuss more about this, and I can share my artifacts if you need it to demo it to your customer. Thank you.